Hello again, friends. Welcome back. My name is Oscar Montesiga. We are at the Uncorked Vintage Academia here at the Booze Library. I am your host, Certified Wine and Spirits Instructor, and today I bring you a classic cocktail. Actually, two. Let's make it two because these are fast and furious. They're very easy to do cocktails, 2 to 3 ingredients, but they're very classic, so it's great to know them, and it's also, they're fun cocktails, but fast and furious, so we're not going to waste a lot of time. We do have a little bit of history to go through them, and I'm talking about the Black Russian and the White Russian. And really, they don't necessarily have a true origin story. At least the Black Russian does. The White Russian is a little more obscure. But basically, these cocktails started with the precursors are somewhere in the 1920s. By the 1920s, we have the first vodka cocktail kind of in print in the US, and it was basically something that you could call the Russian. And the Russian basically included vodka, and again, that's the first time that vodka gets printed into a cocktail as a recipe. It also included cherry liqueur and finished with a cherry brandy or a cherry eau de vie. And that happened around 1920 or so. It was called the Russian. However, you could also ask for a Russian, and that could be a variation that was part gin, 1.5 ounces of gin, with a little bit of vodka, 1 ounce of vodka, and a white creme de cacao or a chocolate liqueur. It was then served straight on up, almost like a martini, and it was garnished with an orange zest. So you have, in those early times, the Russian or a White Russian that included vodka and gin with something sweet like a cherry cordial or a creme de cacao. Which really stems from an older cocktail, the family of cocktails from the Alexander, which you may know as the Brandy Alexander, which check out one of our last videos where we make the Alexander as well as a variation of the Alexander, the Grasshopper. So check that out. But yeah, that's sort of the origin. Prior to the Black Russian, we had the Russian or a Russian that was, a vodka plus possibly gin, maybe a little bit of sugar, plus either a cherry liqueur or cherry brandy, and a white creme de cacao. And throughout the 1920s up until the 1930s, that was kind of popular. And it wasn't until 1949 that somebody established what today we know as the Black Russian, which includes vodka and a coffee liqueur, served on the rocks, basically. It wasn't until later on, I want to say 50s, mid-50s, early 60s, when somebody decided to add cream to the Black Russian, hence it became the White Russian. And it was pretty much popular in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, even late 80s, early 90s, where the White Russian was popular in certain circles for certain times, certain demographics and time and place, but it wasn't until the late 90s where the White Russian really got its revival, more than anything. So today I'm gonna bring you those two basic essential classics, the White Russian and the Black Russian, which again, fast and furious, very simple. You may want to chill your glasses. Both of these are served in tumblers or rocks glasses, short glasses, bucket glasses, and chill them if you can. So I'm gonna start again with the Black Russian. This is something you could build in the glass, and basically just throw your spirits in the glass, mix them there, serve it, you're good to go. But today I'm gonna instead mix and chill the Black Russian in my mixing glass. So we're gonna start with 2 ounces of vodka, and 1 ounce coffee liqueur. So 2 ounce vodka, 1 ounce coffee liqueur. And of course, the name Russian comes from the prominence of the Russian vodka marketplace. Obviously, they're very well known for their vodkas, more particularly wheat vodkas. And that's really where the name comes from. Again, that's really a quick chill and a quick dilution for the vodka and the coffee liqueur. The most prominent coffee liqueur for the Russians is Kahlua. And Kahlua is a coffee liqueur, and it's made in Mexico with Mexican rum. So it's a rum-based liqueur. So we're actually having an international cocktail when you look at the fact that we have traditionally Russian vodka. Today I'm using a domestic American vodka. But then you have coffee coming from Ethiopia and rum, sugarcane, particularly in Mexico. But sugarcane is originally from Indonesia or the Papua New Guinea area. But obviously the Caribbean has a stronghold for rum production. Alright, lastly, I'm gonna drop a rock. For your pleasure, the Black Russian. It's nicely balanced. You get cleanness from the vodka. It's not a cloying liqueur. You do get the coffee flavor. Sweetness from the rum and the coffee itself. Straightforward, simple mixed drink. Nothing too overcomplicated with. It doesn't really need a garnish. If anything, you can drop a fly or meaning a coffee bean if you wanted to. But that's the simplicity of the Black Russian. Quick, simple, easy, and delicious. So next, I'm gonna do the White Russian. Starting again with your chill glass. It's gonna be a rock glass. And this time I'm gonna build on that because of the style of presentation that the White Russian demands. So I'm gonna use the same measurements. I'm gonna do 1 ounce of coffee liqueur. And again, Kahlua, Tia Maria, or any of your preference. Of course, some coffee liqueurs are sweeter than others. So it really depends on what style you want to bring to the party, right? 1 ounce coffee liqueur. And I'm going to switch my vodka. I'm using Black Cow vodka from England, West Dorset. This is vodka that it's made with, oddly enough, with milk. Or a byproduct of milk and cheese making. So I'm gonna drop 2 ounces there. And by the way, great job. It is a very smooth, round, complex, rich vodka that is both kind of creamy and intense. Just so because of the style of cocktail, I'm gonna switch my vodka to represent what this cocktail represents more than anything. Okay, so I have my 2 spirits, the liqueur and the spirit, the vodka and the coffee liqueur. I'm gonna drop ice again on that cocktail, just the same as before. And here's where a lot of White Russians go wrong. They tend to mix the cream, which of course should be a cold cream. They tend to mix it with the spirits. But most traditionally, you want to float that cream. And again, doesn't need a garnish, but you can drop a fly, a coffee bean, and garnish it that way. So traditionally the White Russian is served in layers or with a layer of black and white, because that is what makes it white. Once you start either stirring or mixing and shaking this cocktail, it no longer is white. It becomes a grayish or muddy sort of cream. So you lose the white the whiteness of the White Russian, unfortunately. And a lot of bartenders may do it that way for efficiency, for speediness, whatever you may want to call it. But that is the way I present to you, my guests, my viewers, my students. That is the White Russian, and it's really then up to the guests to steer this up. And you start incorporating the cream with the liqueur and spirit, and you can see how that turns muddy. It turns a cream beige, khaki, sand, camel, whatever color denominations you want to use, but it no longer is a White Russian. I mean, we're drinking a White Russian, but you can see aesthetically it becomes no longer white. And of course it's hard to see with not having a close-up or in your lighting, but for your pleasure, the White Russian. Ooh, that's awesome. It is a liquid dessert, almost like melted ice cream. It doesn't ask for much. It doesn't demand much. But in a way, it is for people that wanna venture out. It may be for people that have holes in their edges. Maybe people that are a little outside the box. Just because, again, in a way, they kind of lost the track of popularity that they gained in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, and they kind of got lost in the repertoire of cocktails until the late 1990s, where the dude sort of could not get enough White Russians and he kept chugging them. That famous film, The Dude, whatever that film's called, and that's when they became a resurgence for the cocktail, the Lebowski, right? But I think they have a great history. I even remember in family parties when I was growing up, I remember, and this is probably late 80s, early 90s, that my mom would entertain and serve White Russians amongst a few other, dated drinks, in a way, if you want to put it that way. But I think they still have a place and time because they're simple, they're delicious, and they're classics for a reason, right? They don't demand much attention, to the fact that they don't even usually garner a garnish, but not that they need it. I think they're still delicious cocktails. When my guests still ask me for, I think I've been asked for a White Russian more than a Black Russian. Again, I don't know if that's due to the film. I think partially it may be. I think partially some older drinkers that used to drink it, back in the 60s and 70s, or even 80s, they still remember that, and occasionally they think of asking either during or after a meal, which is kind of weird to do it during the meal. This is more for an after dinner drink. They still do it, and in my experience, when I present a muddy White Russian, it becomes another not so memorable experience, or it doesn't stand out. But when you present a layered White Russian and you let them be interactive with their drink, I think they remember it, and it becomes more of an old school tradition, where you're at somebody's house and they just gave you this drink and okay, mix it yourself. So if anything, I hope you learned something about the Russian and the White Russian and the Black Russian. Of course, leave me any comments, and please subscribe if you haven't. Share the video with anybody that you may think would like this. And thanks for watching. Today I'm a little more torn because they're both quite delicious, but I enjoy the creaminess of this, plus the excitement of this milk vodka that I think really makes this drink a little more special. So guys, again, thanks for watching. Cheers.